It's April 2nd, 2024. Just giving a little update on the side yard and backyard. This is the Celeste fig. Excited about this Celeste fig here. It gets pretty good sun. I mean, it's not perfect sun, but it definitely gets enough sun. This is its third year here. I mean, it should be doing a lot better than this, but the first year it got down to one leaf. It was pretty bad. Let's see what else we got here. A couple chili patine, or at least one, possibly two. I can't tell if that's horse herb or chili patine. That's chili patine right there. That could very well be a chili patine. I planted one right there in that area, and it's kind of got that leaf, so I'm gonna let it go. Gosh, it could be. I sure hope it is. These are coming along nicely. Sable minors. And these dwarf palmettos are just meant to screen the AC unit. Just kind of break up the form there. In a couple years, they'll be tall enough that you won't even see the AC unit behind the spikies. This is a flame leaf sumac. I've always wanted one of these trees. I've heard they're beautiful. And this is meant to replace this tree here. The crepe myrtle was just put here as a temporary shade for the AC unit so the house wasn't getting beat up, but we've got the AC figured out now. So this crepe myrtle is going to go as soon as the sumac is big enough to cover that. I don't know, 3 to 5 years, something like that. So yeah, that's what we got with the backyard here. Side yard rather. Fern garden is virtually non-existent. Freezes and irrigation and all kinds of stuff. I don't think there's any ferns back here. That's very unfortunate. I had high hopes for that garden. This is a crepe myrtle. Planted it here. I don't know. I think this is second year, year and a half. I planted it last October, something like that, year and a half ago. And it all died off, and it just had to rework kind of where it's going. As you can see, it's just barely getting sun now. It's like not even noon yet. It's probably like 11:30, something like that. It's 11:45 now, so yeah, it's just now getting sun. So it's kind of stretching out, leaning out, which is fine with me. I need a screen right there. That's what I need. I just need a screen. This is a sandpaper tree, a nakwa, and I'm very excited to have this here. It's very rare that we're going to have hurricane force winds come from the north up there, but if I do, then the anakwa, the catalpa, the magnolia, and the oak, that's pretty much all I got. Really have a big hole there if there's any sort of hurricane that comes this way. Rita was close, just in case it sounds kind of weird. Rita was real close to driving north winds back this way of 120 miles an hour. So I'm kind of thinking I need a tree right here-ish, maybe right there-ish, I don't know. Wow. Well, first off, look at this sucker. When I moved in here, this had no limbs on it, and now what is it, 5-6 years later, it's really putting on nice foliage here. It's really starting to look like a tree again. I really want to keep this tree, but I can't. It's so close to the house. It's just too close to the house. So I'm going to have to cut down this tree as soon as I get one replacement. This is the replacement right here. It's just not big enough yet. I need this to be about almost double this size, which will take about another 5 years. And once it gets double this size, it'll be able to replace the one behind me. So this is a water oak, volunteer. Sable minor, volunteer. Man, this thing's just taken off like crazy. Nuttall oak. Honestly, this is a white oak. This is a Nuttall oak, and I couldn't tell the difference because they were sticks. I bought them in the winter. And I gambled. I wanted the Nuttall over here, the white oak here, whatever. It is what it is. So this is a Nuttall oak. It's going to get huge. It's a fast-growing red oak tree. And you know, I need some oaks to help with the wind block. White oak here, very strong, very strong oak tree. Need this on the edge as again a wind block. I live in a glass house, and so if there's wind coming across this lake, it's unimpeded, and this will impede it. Yeah, so this other one up here, you can see this is the old oak we had to cut down. I'm just really torn up about losing that tree. That was probably at least 120, 150 year old oak tree that we lost, all because we got a bulkhead put in. I'm not doing that again. We're gonna do bulkheads different. Drummond red maple. This is its 3rd year here, and I think it's gonna do really well this year. It kind of got a slow start, but wow, has it really caught up. I mean, in the last 4 days, it's probably put on 4 inches. I'm not even joking. It's crazy. This growth here, this right here, has happened in the last 4 days since I've been here, because there was no buds on it when I got here. This is a chinkapin oak. Chinkapin oaks are known for their strength. They're used to build heavy chests and heavy stuff that would carry heavy stuff. So that's why it's right in the center of the windscreen. It's going to get super wide, so it'll also back that up, and it'll back that up too. So it's just a little bit more windscreen engineering. Catalpa tree, this is fishing engineering. So this initially is a fish screen, and the fish screen adds diversity to the windscreen, and that's all good. But you know, it's fishing first. This is catalpa. There's 2 catalpa trees. I planted them far enough apart that I could sit here underneath here with my grandson, granddaughter, whatever. At some point when these things are old and worms are dropping off, I can fish with them. So 2 catalpas. And because I planted them 2 years apart, not 1 year apart, but 2 years apart, I think that they might be in different phases, because they have some years they'll produce the smell or the flower or whatever that attracts the moth that drops the worms, and some years they don't. So this one was planted 4 years ago. This is its 4th year. And that one is its, believe it or not, this is going into its 2nd year. I mean, that thing's taken off, man. It's clearly it's in the water already. I mean, it's got to have roots in the water. Same thing here. This catalpa's getting nice and big. It's going to get into this magnolia tree, and the magnolia is here just as a screen. I want the catalpa to grow out over the lake. What else we got over here? Well, the deck has been done. It looks really nice right now. Just had the deck power washed. You can kind of see some of the lattice is missing teeth and stuff, but I mean, everything's really sturdy, and added new posts under here. Sable miners, really love these. I planted these really young. This is like their 5th year here, 5th year here, and they're doing excellent. I cannot wait to see what they look like in 5 years. Super excited about that. Added these 2 posts under here because the deck was sagging, so you know, just improving the place. This sable miner, I can't decide if I'm going to transplant that. I should probably just leave it there. I mean, it's growing there natively, and it looks really nice, but I don't know. I planted Greek oregano seeds here. See if those pop up. This is Mexican oregano. This right here is going to be my smell garden. The prevailing wind comes from the south and the west, which is that way and that way. So these will hopefully make the place smell good. It smells good just when I touch it. Smells like oregano. I just love that. That's Mexican oregano, Greek oregano next to it. Over here, I have a bunch of Copper Canyon daisies. So when I lived in an apartment, see, there's one right there. One right there. When I lived in an apartment, I was walking Ivory, and I noticed that these Copper Canyon daisies were out. And I thought, man, is that a real Copper Canyon daisy? They were everywhere. So I dug up, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 of them. I dug up a whole bunch and planted them here. This is what's made it. Some of them have made it, some of them have not. The ones that have made it are very strong. There's another one here. Another one here. And there's like 6 or 8 that have made it, something like that. And yeah, that's exciting. It's really exciting. 4, 5, 6. I thought I counted 8 the other day. I think I only have 6 now. Whatever. I mean, they're so young and they're so fragile right now, they're going to die. If I could get 3 of them, that'd be wonderful. But this is my smell garden. This is a Devil's River sage. Came from Gerald Bailey's house. And it is planted here because it smells different from other sages. It does. It smells different from other sages. It is different, and I don't know why, but it's more musty. So I call it a Devil's River sage. You can see the brilliant red on the forest green. Looks really nice. Water garden here. The fish look really excellent. They're so used to me feeding them that oh, they don't recognize the camera. That's funny. Yeah, a lot of fish over there. That's water willow right there, coming up nice. That is duckweed coming up nice. Square stem sedge brush, I think, coming up really nice. Texas star hibiscus, toes deep in the water there. This is pickler weed over there, and then more water willow. Natural cilantro. I love that the cilantro is coming out and seeding out. That is so super awesome. I want it to seed out over this way though. Really, really want to seed out over that way. That'd be much better for me. 3 different kinds of alliums here. I have, these are native Texas chives. I don't know if they're onions or chives. I don't know. They're probably chives from the Brazos River. These are Egyptian walking onions. They were hurting, and now they look like they're doing pretty good, so I'm just going to let them go for a couple of years. They were down to literally 1 leaf. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it. And this is a garlic chives, which are just monsters. I planted these a long time ago, and they are just absolute monsters. You could eat those, and so a couple edibles in there. There's an azalea. I'm just not an azalea fan. I mean, it's here, whatever. I think this hawthorn might be on its last legs. As I start looking at the hawthorn, it's leaking sap, and it's looking pretty dead up there. It's not really coming back up there, so I wonder if the hawthorn's on its last legs. I mean, it's coming back. It looks like it's dead from here up. Yeah, the pear tree's gonna go, so I have a feeling in the next 5 years this landscape is drastically gonna change. But honestly, if this hawthorn isn't here, I'm fine with it because it gives me more growing room. I'll grow stuff here. I know exactly what I'm gonna put there. In fact, the pear tree's gonna go, that's for dang sure. Orchard's pretty hurting. The mountain laurel's okay. Yeah, got that mountain laurel coming up. Got another mountain laurel there, but it's kind of hurting. Oops. Finger. Another mountain laurel there, but it's kind of hurting. Can't even see it. It's a stick. That's in this avocado when it grows. Satsuma. This is a oh my goodness, it's a persimmon, a Fuyu persimmon. It's supposed to be an awesome persimmon, and this one looks like it's liking it here. This one I don't think made it. I bought 2 of them because they're so hard to find, so I was really hoping that this one would grow. So I got a Fuyu here. You know, I have one of these thornless durantas left, sky flowers. I love these things. I'm going to have to propagate some. I really hope this thing continues just killing it. I really like the duranta, but for some reason, well, I know why. I kept transplanting it, but you can see how big that wood was. That was from a long time ago when I transplanted it over here, so yeah. This is a native lantana that I have here. Just a butterfly attractant, honestly. I am going to have some lantanas when I move here, but yeah, I don't really need the native. I just have it here as an attractant. Passion vine's starting to come out here. Looking really nice. This is a Texas pecan, a Pawnee. Pretty excited. This is its 3rd year, so it should really start putting on some growth this year. If not this year, then next year. This is a same tree we started with, sumac, flame leaf sumac. And this flame leaf sumac is a really fun tree in the fall. You can see it's really putting on a ton of growth. It's like in this spot right now, it's typically an understory tree. And so I'm hoping that this gets big enough, like this gets big enough to kind of block it from maybe 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock on would be great. 4 o'clock would be even better. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that the wax myrtle just blocks it for a little bit. So gives a little time to establish. I planted these Monterey oaks when they were literally 3 or 4 inches tall. They're doing good now. This is probably about 6-inch tall tree. And it's finally starting to look like a tree. In here, the Yopon hollies. These Yopons are doing pretty well. This one is I think I need to give this one some special attention and care because it has no new growth this year. All of the others have new growth on them. All of them. Even the bad ones, not bad ones, the ones that are not in the best area, but this one is in a great area, has no new growth. So I think one thing that's going to help it is this wax myrtle is going to get big. So once this wax myrtle gets big, it'll shade it from the afternoon sun. And I think the Yopons like that afternoon sun shade. Another Monterey oak here, looking pretty fine. So 5 Yopon hollies, 3 wax myrtles, and 3 Monterey oaks. And here's the 3rd Monterey oak right here. Stout. These are gifts from Ryan Woodward. This is a desert willow. And I planted them real close together. You know, you do see them sometimes planted a foot apart. I planted them close together so that they would lean on each other and give each other support, but also so that they'd be thick enough to act as a windscreen. This is an elbow bush, and the elbow bush is just kind of a cool little bush. I wish I wouldn't have planted it right here next to these, but this was here first, and I wasn't sure if it was going to make it, to be honest with you. I thought it might die. So I planted these here thinking this might die, and it didn't. It came back. So, you know, this is part of the hurricane windscreen. If hurricane winds come, they're going to come from this direction, right here. More than likely, they're going to come from this direction. This is the most powerful thing I have to worry about right here. And so I've got a bur oak, nuttall, ash tree. That's a green ash, I planted this here because it's also found in Edmonton. So add a little diversity. And just a little reminder of Edmonton, they find those all over the place. That's kind of cool. Bur oak and another Monterey oak. That Monterey oak was eaten by beavers, eaten down to the ground. And so it's coming back pretty good. That's why the others look pretty full. Like that oak, those oaks look pretty full right there. This oak looks pretty just not full. And then these, I put these in the middle of the prevailing wind. These are sweet almond verbenas because I just love the smell, and I just want to make sure I get some sweet almond verbena in my smell, in my nose. This is a tulip tree. It looks like it's coming out here, finally starting to come out. So, come on, tulip tree. Apparently it's going to be the last one to come out. It's going to grow like 6 feet this year. And it needs a little afternoon sun or afternoon shade, so I planted it right here behind this giant American sycamore here. This tree's only 2 years old, by the way. It's like 15 feet tall. It's a giant. Yeah, Monterey oak. Let's talk about this guy. Well, actually, you can see the Monterey oak was eaten by beavers. You see it. The beaver was up here eating pines, and I think he just took a sample of oak with him. He didn't eat hardly any of the others. He took a bite out of this tree. See the bite he took out of it right here. Took a bite out of the sycamore. Man, that sycamore's gotten big already. This is a chinkapin oak. Again, chinkapin because of the strength. I wanted this on the edge, and I had a hole. I had a hole that I needed to fill, and the hole was right here on the edge. So, it's got to be something strong. So I put a chinkapin here, and I think that's the backyard, isn't it? I think it is. Let me see. It's really nice right now. I mean, it really looks nice. Gazebo's all done, and the deck's all been done, and so much work has been done back here in the last few years. The pond looks beautiful. Look at those fish. They look beautiful. Watch them come over. Watch. They're just beautiful. See them all? Feed them one more time before I leave.